Hey guys, what is going on? You are watching Deutschwolf playing some Borderlands 2, and today what we're going to try to do is create ourselves an overpowered sniper rifle setup. Now, I've been using Zero for a while here, and he's definitely one of my favorite characters. I always love playing the assassin's role in all these games, and sniping is definitely one of my favorite things to do, and so as a result, you put a lot of time and effort into trying to spec out your assassin properly. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you guys what you can do to absolutely max out your assassin and give him the best chance of getting that one shot, one kill. So what we're doing right now is we're in the Frostburn Canyon right here. We've got plenty of enemies kind of right around this area. We're going to take a look and see what we can do as far as damage. What I've done for this is I've taken all of the skill points off of my character right now, so you can see there are no skill points on here, and I went ahead and I disabled our bonus stats as well, so none of that's going to interfere. Basically we're just going to be using I'm going to be using this Cull Calipine right here and seeing how much damage the gun itself will do and then how much we can actually boost it up. And nothing here does additional damage, but we're going to change that very soon, and we're going to do it in such a way that we're not even going to have to spend a lot of time or a lot of money grinding out for the perfect weapon. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so plenty of enemies down in this location right here. First what we're going to do is I'll kind of demonstrate the baseline damage that you can expect with this weapon, and then we'll go ahead and get a critical hit on our character right here to see what kind of additional damage that critical shot will do. So here we go. We did about 31, 37 right there, and I'll actually put that on the screen so you guys remember. But here we go with the headshot. Here we go with the headshot. So 16,310. We'll get another critical hit. 16,310. That's about what we're expecting out of this weapon right now. And again, remember that we've got nothing on the weapon right now. This is just the damage that the gun does by itself, with no additional perks or anything like that. So there we go. So just keep an eye on those numbers up in the corner here, and what we'll do is we'll go ahead and respec our character just using the current specs that we've got to try to maximize the damage that we're getting out of it. So first what we're going to do is we're going to go into our skill tree here and go all the way over to sniping here. If you go through cunning and bloodshed, you're going to notice that there's really not a lot that's got to do with your actual critical hit shot. The majority of these have to do more with your special skill and more with your melee damage, and that's really not the kind of character that I play. So I'm going to max out headshot right here. I'm also going to go ahead and max out killer, because you can see with that we've got an additional 50% critical hit damage, and we're going to go with this as well, which gives us an additional 60% gun damage overall. And you're going to want to make sure that you get velocity, because you can see that critical hit damage is also improved that way. We got another 15% on top of that. Now, as far as these precision optics and over here, this really comes down to kind of what your personal preference is. I like optics because I appreciate that additional zoom that I get out of it. Plus, the aim steadiness is pretty nice as well. And there's lots of different perks that you can add to your character later on that help out with this stuff. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select a bore right here, and that actually gets us to the next tier. So we can max out kill confirmed and at one with the gun. Now this is more to do with your overall hip shot accuracy and whatnot, but we're going to need to actually max it out in order to get to this last bit here, the critical ascension, because we're going to want that additional critical or 6% critical hit damage per stack. So we've got that. Still got an additional 3 points left, so I'm actually going to dump them into optics right here, and you can see right now I've got a 7 out of 5, and that's only because I've got a perk on there right now that's doing that, but it really doesn't affect the actual overall damage of the gun. So now we've got everything maxed out right here. Let's go find another enemy before we actually go ahead and turn our badass ranks back on again, and we'll see how much additional damage we're doing above and beyond what we were doing before. So here we go. We're gonna give it to him in the chest. Here we go. Okay, 5,332 damage. I'll put that on the screen so that you guys can remember that. But that's the baseline damage that we're doing to his chest. Now you can see when I shot him in the head for a critical shot there, we got over 20,000 damage out of it just by respecing our character. So that's what, 7,000 up above what we had before. So a pretty substantial change right there. There we go. We get to have him taken care of. So before we kill all the rest of the guys in this area, let's go ahead and go back to our bonus stats here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and enable them again. And you can see that I put quite a bit into critical hit damage right here. as well as the overall power of the gun and whatnot as well. Now, don't expect to see a huge difference from this. You know, they're just kind of nice little perks that you get as you continue to work with your character. Let's. I'm gonna run up here and take a look at what we've got. Okay, so you recall that in our last critical headshot, we did about 20,000 damage. Let's see what we can do this time. So we've got 36,000 damage that we just made. Or that we just did to this character here, just by turning on all of our perks, you know, getting that critical headshot. Now let's go ahead and up this a little bit more, because we can definitely up the ante on this. And this is where your gear really comes into play. Now the thing is, there's two things that you can do as far as your perks to kind of help you out here. What I'm going to do is, we've got our class mods here. I actually found a class mod that allows me to do an additional 31% sniper rifle gun damage and an additional 31% sniper rifle critical damage. And again, you're going to notice that this is a white mod, so it's really not a rare mod, something you can probably find. And again, you know, I'm not going to be maxing out the potential for damage here. I'm just showing you how you could potentially do it. If you've got better gear than me, you're definitely going to be able to do a better job at that. But I went ahead to Sanctuary and bought this outsourced Amplify Shield. Now, the Amplify Shield is going to become very important when you're trying to get the most out of your character here. And you guys have probably heard about the B shield. It's definitely one of the best Amplify shields in the entire game, and that one's probably going to give you the best amp damage here. But basically what we're looking at is, you can see this this shield right here. It's not a great shield, but it's got 989 additional amp damage on it, and we've also got a 1381 amp shot drain. What this means is that 989 is going to be tagged onto my final damage, so I'm going to be making all sorts of additional damage over and above what I was making before. And I actually think that this is compounded, because that damage is added to the damage of my weapon, which is then multiplied by all of my critical hit shot stuff that we've done as well. Now, you are going to notice that you are going to need a full shield in order to do this, and when you fire with this full shield, it's going to actually drain some of our potential our amp damage, or it's going to drain some of our shield. And so you're going to want to be cognizant of that. I mean, this spec right here is not going to allow you to take a whole lot of hits, and you just want to keep that in mind. This spec is going to get you doing the most damage and hopefully putting that enemy down in one shot. So just keep that in mind, and definitely try this with definitely better gear than I've got right here. But for the purposes of demonstration, we've went ahead and added all of that stuff. Now, I don't really want to go toe-to-toe with these guys so much, so I'm going to we'll let these guys duke it out and finish themselves off, and then we'll go ahead and find some slightly softer enemies to finish this up with. Okay, so here we go. We've cleared out the majority of the enemies in this area, so let's take a look and see what we can do about hitting this guy. So we've got 7,489 regular chest damage. That's not critical shot. So let's see about getting a critical hit on this guy. Wow, I definitely did not even see that. Let's see if we can't find an enemy that's not charging us directly. There we go. Boom! So there you go, 47,000 damage with all of these perks and everything spec'd out properly. So we're doing an absolute crap ton of damage to these guys right now. You can see we'll take this guy right here. Critical headshot. There you go. So, I mean, if you take a look at the damage that we were doing beforehand, you can see that we've obviously multiplied it up quite a bit, and I'll have all of those numbers up on the screen for you guys to take a look at, so we can see, you know, what kind of overall benefit we're getting from this whole spec out. But anyways, again, like I said before, you know, I am definitely not doing this with the best possible. There we go again, 47,000 damage. But again, I'm not doing this with the best gear that I could be doing this with. If you are able to go out there and get a shield with more amp damage, if you're able to go out there and get some better perks than I've got on right now, you're going to see a major difference with that. And you're going to find that that amp damage is what's going to make a huge difference for you, plus the additional multipliers of your skills. So anyways, I hope that this helps you guys out a little bit, speccing out your assassin class, and definitely have a good time with it. Anyways, I'll see you guys in Borderlands.